How's it going, guys? Happy evening. Hope you're all well. Right then, another subject. Disabled changing facilities. Good or bad? Now, what I mean by that is, I took my son out. My son, as I've said in the past, he spends a lot of time in his wheelchair. He's disabled, both mentally and physically disabled. And he's a big lad. He's very tall. He's quite skinny, so he's like light to carry around, but he's still tall. Taller than me now. And I'm 5'8". He's taller than me. So when we take him out places, we have to look at where we are. Is there a disabled facility nearby, toilets and stuff? Now, most places we take him because he loves trains. So most train stations, well, all train stations have disabled toilets, shall we say, and disabled toilet or accessible toilet. But they're all small. They do have changing facilities, but the changing facilities they have are mainly designed around small children or toddlers or babies. As I say, my son's a lot taller than me. He's not a small child, he's not a toddler, he's not a baby. So the train stations by us, the facilities there, they're just not suitable for his needs, And I've had it in the past where even planes aren't, are they? You think about it. You're going on a plane somewhere now. Not all plane journeys are like short. Some are really long. And if you've got a person with you who does wear incontinent pads or nappies, or if you want to call it that, how, are you going to just leave them like that? You can't, can you? But there's no way to change them. I understand a plane, I get it. Planes are small, I get that. But maybe, I don't know, have like a kit or something you can put round the seat that you're in, like maybe fold it out or something for a bit of dignity, you know what I mean? A bit of privacy to change that person. I know it's going to be difficult for the people sitting in front or behind you because, it smells, doesn't it? If they saw themselves, it smells. So planes, I understand it. They're smaller and they try and get people in, and if you have to change them, it'd be really, really difficult. I wish they would. It'd be great if they did. Maybe there's some in like other countries, like America or something, that's got them facilities, or first class or whatever. I don't know. So planes, yeah, okay, I understand that. But then you've got train stations, some trains as well. So some trains have toilets, and they're big enough to get in. They're big enough for wheelchairs and stuff. And they have a little fold down thing for the baby change. They don't have a disabled adult or very large teenager change. Same with train stations. You go them, they have the toilets there. You go in there, and sometimes they're not clean, sometimes they're not. And again, there's no real adult or large person, child changing facilities. There's not. So you got your main modes of travel that don't have the right facilities for people of a certain size, you know what I mean, to be able to cater for their needs if they do need a changing from their, if they've sold themselves or whatever, Now you do have options. You can lie them on the floor. And no, I couldn't do it, excuse me. It's disgusting. A lot of the places I've been with my son, and we get the radar key and we go in there. Sometimes it's not even locked, it's just open, and public have just been using it, going in and out. And you go in some, and there's rubbish on the floor, or there's like urine on the floor, or toilet tissue everywhere, and it smells so bad. So you got either, we've had in the past where my son, I've had to take my coat off, and I put my full coat down, my jacket down on the floor, and lie Matthew on that, and literally holding his head so his head doesn't touch the floor, because just the bottom half of him is on my jacket, and trying to change him, and it's quite difficult because he's mentally disabled. He doesn't want to be like that, it's awkward. So yeah, modes of transport and places of transport like train stations and stuff, it's not very good if you've got someone that you need a facility for better. So then you got to look then, if you go out anywhere, okay, I need somewhere that's better, somewhere that's, bigger, you know, because otherwise you're going to have the same issue, lie on the floor, or even in the past I've had to actually lie my son across my knee, and he's been dangling back and I'm trying to change him and stuff, and it's really difficult. But then this Saturday we went out and I went through my train stations. Now, it didn't need to be changed or anything, but we had something to eat, and I made sure I changed him after he's had something to eat. And I went to the train station because I thought it was closest by, so I go to the train station, and I went in there and said, "Oh, can I use the disabled toilets?" And he says, "Yeah." Now, the disabled toilet, it was only small, so I goes over and I tried my key, and it won't open. So I says to the guy, "Oh, is there an issue?" He goes, "Oh, someone must be in there." And I could hear laughing inside. Okay, laughing inside, okay, no matter. But then they still know, not. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. Obviously, Matthew's getting agitated, so I'll give it a knock, The door opens, and two young lads come out, Now, I'm not judging them. There could be a disability there. There could be many reasons, stoma bags, whatever. But they come out and they're all tracksuits on and hoodies, and and one of them's on the phone, and then they just walk past me, open the door, walk past me. They didn't even say, "Oh, sorry," nothing like this. And I looked in and I just seen the state of it as well, and I'm just like, nah, I'm not lying Matthew on that floor. So I was a bit, annoyed and concerned as well, because I don't want to leave Matthew for that long in that condition. So I was like, right, I'm going to have to find somewhere. So I goes on the internet, and the place that's nearest to me is the World Museum in Liverpool. And I was like, okay, it's a little bit of a walk, but it's fine, nice day. And when we got there, I was thinking it's probably going to be similar, maybe, but it might be cleaner, because with it being the museum, maybe they clean it more. How surprised I was. I tell you what, well done, World Museum Liverpool, well done, Liverpool City Council. Immaculate. It was literally the best changing facilities for an adult or a larger person that I've ever seen, and I've been to quite a lot. It was brilliant. It was like its own little wet room, it was massive inside. You go in there, it had a proper table on it. The table could, you could hide it or load it if you needed to. It had a hoist in the corner, privacy screens. They can pull a privacy screen round. It had like a bidet style toilet. It had a sink with not just the taps, but it had like a joystick tap. It was brilliant. It was really, I mean, I'll put a little clip on here so you can see it, okay? So how good was that? Look big. You see Matthew was happy as well, and again, you can see how tall he was. He's a big lad, isn't he? But it was brilliant, and I couldn't be happier. So now, if I go into Liverpool City Centre, I know where I need to go if Matthew needs changing or whatever, So brilliant, so well done. I'm so happy that I found a place like that. And again, well done Liverpool City Council, well done Liverpool World Museum. I think others should learn from that, maybe, I know to change a lot of the disabled, changing or disabled toilets, accessible toilets, all that would be difficult for some places because of cost involved. I get that, I do get it, but I'm not asking for the hoist in every room, or like the high and lower and tables, the bidet toilet, something like that. Not just that. I mean, that'd be great, but I'm not asking for that. Even if it was just like a fold down sort of sturdy bed, like a plastic thing that you can put them on, like a Hygiene One Easy Wipe, something like that. I'm sure in a lot of the disabled toilets there'd be room to put something in there, and then maybe you could ask the person to come over and help you lower it, or accept the risk that if you did lower it and it slipped or something, then they wouldn't be responsible, or whatever. But I think it would be good, some sort of facility like that. That it wouldn't cost too much, you know, and well, I say it wouldn't cost too much. I really don't know. Hopefully, it wouldn't cost too much. But I think um, we should. A lot of places can learn from that museum. Now, there probably is other places in Liverpool like that, but I haven't found them yet. And obviously, I go with my son in Liverpool whenever I get home on a weekend. We always go out, go around taking places and stuff because he loves to be out in his chair. But I know, as I say, every time from now on when I go out, I know where I'm going. You've got a visitor for life, there in the World Museum in Liverpool. Because I won't just go there to use the toilet, go there to obviously visit the museum as well. I was so happy, I was so made up, So again, thank you so much, Liverpool World Museum and Liverpool City Council, for creating that facility for the disabled people in our amazing city of Liverpool. Yeah, I don't know. I thought I'd just make this video. I know it's long, but I just wanted to point out that, we do have a lot of disabled accessible toilets, but for changing facilities in them toilets, it's very, very limited. And I just wish that it wasn't as limited as it was. Again, as I say, I understand there'll be a lot of building work, a lot of cost involved. I know that, I get that. But from my point of view, I'm quite selfish. I'm a special needs parent, and yeah, okay, my cost a lot, but I don't care. Get it done. You know what I mean? Get it done. Or signpost more. You know what I mean? Like on the old websites and stuff like that. Signpost. Oh, we have this facility or whatever. Or if you haven't got it, put it so like the train stations or the stuff like that are closed. If they know, like Liverpool train stations, if they know that there is their toilets aren't big enough, have a poster next to it or in there, just explain them that there is a disabled changing facility nearby, where it is, how long it'll take to get there, etc. I think that'd be great. But yeah, again, I was so happy, I was so pleased with Liverpool City Council and World Museum Liverpool. I keep saying this, I'm not advertising the place, but I am in a way because I'm so happy with them. So yeah, long video, but I do think that places do need to cater more for disabled changing for taller people and larger people, not just height but width as well, because some disabled people are bigger, aren't they, as well. So yeah, I'm going to stop rabbiting on now because I tend to rabble on quite a lot. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you in the next one.